So what people tend to do is they get into business and then business starts to consume them and they revolve their entire life around their business. I've been guilty of it myself. So what leverage is all about is getting them to decide on what lifestyle they want and then building a business to suit that lifestyle so they can have the leverage in their business to do what they enjoy. A sales funnel to me is anything that converts a person from not having a clue of who you are from a bar of soap through to actually becoming a paying client, whether that's high ticket, low ticket, doesn't matter. To me, even your video blogs are a funnel because essentially if you structure those right, then they're not just information giving, they're actually taking them through a process of building their relationship and taking them through a process to eventually convert them to clients, ideally. If they're an ideal client, of course, because not all clients are created equal. If you know your numbers, then a lot of people will create sales funnels and go, oh, that didn't work, I wasn't a millionaire overnight, oh, this isn't for me, I'll go back and get a job. But with sales funnels, if you understand your numbers and know your metrics, then you can test and measure everything and know what's working and what's not. I was one of those kids at school who was not good with authority. And so at the age of 21, I decided to start a web design company. And through my 20s, I had lots of happy clients, but I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing. I was having to do everything myself. I spent more money than I earned, and in my 20s, I nearly went bankrupt. Not once, but twice. I remember crying myself to sleep on my 25th birthday because that was when I was supposed to be a millionaire, and I had like 50 billion vision boards that suggested that should have happened, and I couldn't understand why it didn't magically fall from the sky. And then when I was 29, I became, surprise, pregnant. And then it wasn't about me anymore. Then there was someone else that I had to take into consideration, and it was putting her before anyone else, including myself at times. And I think what happened was it gave me a big shake-up. I'd kind of started to look at my life and knew that I had to do something differently. So when my daughter came along, I had made some big changes in my business. But when she was 2 weeks old, she was sitting beside me in her rocker. I was rocking her to sleep with one foot. I had the other hand at my computer, managing my team, running my web design company. And then I had the express pump on the printer trying to get enough milk expressed so that when she woke up, I could actually feed my own daughter. But naturally, I was working extremely long hours. I was busting my ass. I was so stressed. I was a new mum. I had the whole weight of the world, it felt like, weighing on my shoulders. And so I couldn't make enough milk to feed my own child. And I remember just being at my desk and I stood up and I just screamed while I was crying, just going, this is no way to live. This is not how anyone should live. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. And in that moment, I became the automate, delegate, delete queen. It was all about what can I set up automation-wise that will give me more time to spend with my daughter? What can I delegate to people who are doing these jobs that are more in their genius so I can stick to my own genius? And just working out what I can delete, because we spend so much time just wasting hours every single day on things that we absolutely don't need to be doing. So from then on, I changed everything and I ditched the web company completely and I went fully into a mentoring and online strategy, which was the stuff that I'd always loved. I swore that I would never allow myself to work those ridiculous hours, to do things that I didn't enjoy doing, and not to let my business own me, but to create a lifestyle for myself, for my family, that allowed us to do what we want, when we want, and when you wake up in the morning, you can decide whatever the hell you want to do, and you can afford to go out and do it. This is your lifestyle. And it's about creating sales funnels that are delivered in a way that is your jam. Because if you hate doing video, Or if you fear speaking, but you're okay doing audio where they can't see your face, then maybe webinars are for you. Or if you shine when you're on a stage and you prefer that than sitting down and creating content that way, whatever it may be, you've got to find what's your jam, the way that you like to deliver it, that you actually enjoy, and that's the sales funnels that work for you. And you don't have to do all of them. You can just pick a couple, do them well, because every sales funnel that you do will give you back data and the numbers, which will then help you know what's working, what's not, tweak the leaks, and you can see that the floodgates open. And if you know that your traffic numbers are good and your opt-in's high, but people aren't buying, maybe you need to improve your content. But you can look at your content and see if people are watching it or if they're bailing early. So you might want to look at your sales page. When you look at your sales page, maybe you need to tweak the way the sales page is pitched, or maybe you need to tweak your actual offer. But you can just change those little tweaks within the sales funnel, look at the metrics, see what's improved and what hasn't, and you gather all that data and you open the floodgates to the sales, and it will just run like a well-oiled machine once you know those numbers. There's people out there waiting, just begging to have your genius taught to them, shared with them in some form. So to start creating leverage in my life, I had to first find the right people to delegate tasks to. And from the time in my life where I nearly went bankrupt and looked at the things that I could do better, one of the biggest thing was outsourcing to people locally and overseas. And to do that, I've got a great team now, so I can leverage my team. And I think the other thing with the leverage is teaching the team, having them understand the concept of leverage as well.
She really enjoys her life, she loves her kids, she's got a great relationship with her partner, and I think looking at Jody, it reminds you why we do what we do, because we want to have more time on our hands. We want to run a business that we really love and working with people that we really want to work with.
You know, you think about people who go to work every day, they clock in, they clock out, they eat when they're told, they holiday when they're told, or maybe they work in their own businesses, but then they are a slave to their businesses, they work their butts off and they think that's what they have to do. But the truth is, unless you run your business right, then you're just in the lowest paying, hardest working job of your life. So I want them to understand that when you have the right strategies and surround yourself with the right people and get the right help, then you can actually have that lifestyle, that freedom. And I think people should really give a shit about this, because this is life-changing. I mean, who the hell wants to be stuck in a life that makes them miserable, or jobs or businesses that makes them miserable, when they can actually have everything they've ever wanted? And that's why we created the full Done For You funnel building service. Our clients, they get to use my entire team. They're already skilled in strategy and copy and building funnels. Plus, they get their own dedicated project manager who's their one point of contact. At the end of the day, you can DIY. Sure, it's cheap, but it always seems like such hard work, and most people never get it finished anyway. Or done with you, it's so time consuming, you're better to spend that time doing things you can't delegate, like creating content. As I always say to my clients, the ship is easiest to steer once it's moving. So once that funnel's live, we can track metrics and just constantly improve. One thing that a lot of people overlook in business is how important it is to understand what your jam is and how you actually want to deliver that as well, because it doesn't have to be the same way that everybody else is. That way it's just so much more fun when you don't have to try and do something to please other people. You do it the way you do, and the right people will attract to you. And so when it comes to making videos or creating strategies, some of the stuff that we do are so outside the box that, you know, if somebody was watching over the fence looking at some of the shit we do, they would probably think we're a little bit crazy. But that's what it's about, because if it's not fun having business, then you're only ever going to feel like a slave to your business and you're not going to enjoy the process. Whereas if you're having fun, you're doing it in a way that stirs up your creativity, you're going to be so much more in flow, and you'll energetically attract the right people around you, and everything will just run so much more smoothly.
I think Jody's a really transparent person, and I think her values-based approach really shines through. But because she's got a really smart head on her and she's got a savvy business, mixing all those three together make for a great coach and someone that I'm really enjoying working with.
Jody taught us how to repackage what we were already offering in a smart and leveraged way, allowed us to free up our time and to really, really serve our clients like we've never been able to do before.
She's made it so easy, so fun, and now I'm literally addicted to wanting to create more funnels.
And I'm now averaging strategy sessions around the $68 per strategy call mark, which is for me the most incredible return, because my average client nets me tens of thousands of dollars.
The ability to transform what I've already created into a business which will create money while I sleep.
In fact, our income has more than quadrupled.
Guess what? It's going to be some of the best money you've ever invested. For me, it was 100% increase in revenue, a doubling. The investment for me was literally worth almost $500,000 net cash profits to me and my family.
And I cannot wait to help hundreds more people create the lifestyle they love by creating the business of their dreams.